Good afternoon. Statistics from the American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology show that approximately 8% of children have food allergies. While 8% seems like a small number, in reality that means nearly 6 million children are suffering each day. Most people probably do not think about food allergies as a big deal, or realize how much they can affect your health or the health of America as a whole. As I read through my speech, some of you may recognize some of my symptoms and realize you too have been having some of the same problems. I encourage you to do more research and talk to your doctor. It took me long enough to recognize the signs and symptoms and make a change to be a happier person. I hope you can learn from my experiences and choose to take control of your health. Today, I would like to share my experiences with food allergies and some of the crippling, life-changing effects it has had on my life and how I've grown from them. The defining moment was my freshman year of high school. I'd been battling extreme fatigue, body pain, and mental fogginess for a few years then, and no doctor could give an answer to my problems. I had trouble playing sports, I couldn't stay awake to study, I stopped doing my homework and hanging out with friends, and I had a near constant headache. The fatigue and headaches also caused me to be extremely emotional and sensitive. Every day I would come home from school, put on my pajamas, and fall asleep on the couch. But one day in particular, I realized that it wasn't healthy, and that my life was slowly falling apart. I had fallen asleep in 3 of my classes, and I almost fell asleep in the car on the way home. I had a lot of trouble getting out of bed that morning, and I missed dinner that night, even though my mom tried repeatedly to get me to wake up enough to eat. The next morning, we decided to go to a new doctor and take control of my future. Many tests had been conducted, but the last test finally gave us an answer: food allergies. How could food allergies be the cause of all of these problems that I've been having? I just couldn't fathom that something that we enjoy every day, that we almost revolve our life around these days, could be causing me to be nearly sick all the time. I ended up being allergic to many things, the most debilitating being wheat, dairy, and egg whites. During this time, there was little awareness to food allergies, and it was difficult finding food substitutions. The little awareness to food allergies was also kind of a stigma attached to it. When I told people, oh, I actually just have food allergies, there was no diagnosable test. I couldn't say, oh, I have mono, or, I have the flu. There was none of that. So people would just laugh at me and say, you're ridiculous, it's in your head, you just need to stop being a big baby. And I got that all the time from so many of my family members, and it was just awful, and it was horrifying to be having so much illness and have nobody believe you. So I went on a restrictive diet that was extremely hard for someone in high school to deal with, and like I said, extremely hard for those times. But I did feel better. I didn't hurt anymore. I could do my homework, I could study, and I could stay awake. My headache that I'd had for the last 3 years, it was finally gone. But I was young, and I loved food, and it was hard. I loved baking and cooking with my mom. I liked to go out to lunch and make cookies with my friends. But I couldn't, and it was really, really hard, so I failed. And I was kind of in a denial stage. Like I said, how could food be causing these problems for me? So I went back to my old diet. But I did have a new knowledge of what was causing my symptoms, and I stopped letting the symptoms get the best of me. I learned to battle and ignore the fatigue that had previously plagued my life, but I could only deal with it for so long. As I got older, and I kept dealing with the same health problems, a huge interest of mine became the human body and nutrition. I had taken a huge interest into what food does to the body and how many health problems are caused by what we ingest. Food allergies have turned into something that is a lot more well known now, and it's being studied to be the cause of a lot of illnesses that are very common, such as arthritis, fibromyalgia. It is known to irritate and cause exacerbations of things such as lupus, any sort of autoimmune disease. It can all be connected to food allergies and seasonal allergies in some way. So this interest in my experience with the healthcare system helped me get into my current career path of nursing. So even though I encountered a lot of people in the healthcare system that thought I was just making all of this stuff up in my head, there was the few that really helped solidify my love for nursing, and they helped me, so I wanted to help other people. I love nursing, and I feel that due to my past experiences and my knowledge of an alternative way of taking care of the body, I will be a well-rounded nurse. I have learned that being in the sick role does not define who a person is. And I have also learned that just because there's no outward signs and symptoms, that does not mean that a person isn't suffering. because that's what people were telling me. If you are someone who has recognized some of the same issues that I have suffered from, and you have had doctors and nurses tell you the same thing, realize that you're not alone. And while you may not be suffering from food allergies, you may have had doctors tell you, like I said, that it's all in your head. But there are people like me who believe you, and it's not all in your head. It is real, and I hope today that you realize that. My compassion and empathy for others' expressed pain has definitely grown due to my experiences. So food allergies cause me to suffer throughout my life. If they have changed who I am and where I am today, I would be nowhere today without the experiences that I've had. Maybe you haven't been feeling well, or you have a suspicion that you have a food allergy, and I hope that this speech encouraged you to seek the help that you deserve and the confidence to know the right questions to ask. Thank you for your time and your compassion. Have a great day.